Hi folks, had a good painting session yesterday, did two. I've just torn one up. I shouldn't really, because I should keep them from watercolor oil paintings. But it happens. Wrong thinking. Right, this is a Fabriano, £130. It's a very tricky paper to use when you're not used to it. The paint and water tends to stay on the surface much longer and doesn't soak in. That's why you can scrape out quite easily. This time I might go down a bit. Lousy day in London, cold, wet, windy, gale force winds at times. I know we moan about our weather. It's we haven't really got a right to, but because other countries have it far worse. But anyway, I'm going to do something like I did yesterday, but I'm going to just add a bit of a that in there. Right, okay. Red, blue. I was using some Ken Bromley Payne's Grey with a sort of a bluey cast, but it was horrible. In the end, I'm not used to it. Nothing wrong with the paint. It's just that I'm not used to that sort of. I like centering the light. Let's get a bit of that shadow or reflection in the water. And let's get some red in there. Light red, that is. I'll get that dark back in there. Be careful with the splashes. Right, the board is well, that's okay. Be interesting to see what happens to that. Now, put in very similar to what I did yesterday. We want a background, bit of a bluish background, bit of red. Take some water off the brush. Now, I hope I'm not going uphill there. Oh, look how that's running down now. Right, I don't want to run down too much. I'm going to lower my board. Okay, how's that? Right, well, that's very interesting. I'll just reclip. I'll tell you what the palette is. And what I'm using. We've got this side here, cadmium. No, it's not cadmium yellow. It's a light yellow, and it's very, very good. Light yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson. Hardly use that. Light red, I use a lot of that. Ultramarine, burnt umber. I don't use much of that. Payne's Grey, I use a lot of. Burnt sienna, a lot. There we are. So let's put in some heavier stuff over here then. Bit red, bit of burnt sienna. Pull out the loose hairs. Sorry, I've got to change my station. I'm on the wrong. Bet you I've heard all this. No, this is useless. Having a salty 5 minutes at the moment. Hold on. Oh, I'll do. Okay, now want some much darker stuff in there, because this is where we're going to do the most of the lifting out on that side. But just let that nerd off for a moment. Can I do this while it's wet? So let's go back over the other side and don't want symmetry with these things, like doing on the left what I've done on the right. Now I'm going to use, as you can see, I've used a bit of impasto there. We'll use some of that in there. Right, okay, let's clip. It's very tough, this paper. It's the Fabian £130 studio practice paper. Very good. Does lifting out a treat. It's really good for that. But you need plenty of dark paints. So let's have a bit of Payne's Grey. The hake is a very sort of light touch. Okay, so let's get some of that in here. Now, a very light touch with the hake. I'll put a few pines in there. Okay, that's well, we expected that, didn't we, with where the paint sort of stopped running. But it's all hit and miss with this type of painting, wet in wet. Right, let's start the old lifting out. Get the card. So don't throw your plastic cards away. Use them for brushes. Don't overdo this. It's very easy to. Look, just some rocks. Right, get over here. See, that's why you put on the dark against the white. But because the paint is staying on the surface for so long, it gives you the opportunity to do this. But you've got to catch it right. Otherwise, if it dries, look, it'll start losing that ability to. Right, highs of 13 degrees today. Now that might sound quite good if you're living in North Alaska, but it's late spring. Oh, it's so, I would say depressing. I mean, weather's weather, isn't it? But it would be nice to get out in the garden to do a bit barbecuing. Right, I'm going to use my medium hake, I think. Right, that's a bit of a sort of bluey green. Pine trees are so easy to do. Just create an impression of a fir tree. Well, just those little touches turn that mass into a by lightness of touch. I'm using the Ron Ranson Harkays. Bear in mind that my palette might be different than yours, and it will make a difference. A bit of dark yellow in here. A little bit of a shape, bit of a reflection there. That's a very strange. That's really eerie. I'll paint across there with some blue stuff. That's a bit of blue modified with a bit of red. Oh, I can hear the wind. If you can, there's no problem with the sound of my laptop. I think I'm going to just go over that a little bit. I think it's dry enough. Just put a bit of blue and right, I'll give that a try, and then I could just finish that.